Special contribution is such an exciting time in the year for the church. I remember as a young student, my first special contribution 30 years ago. We used to save up money through the year, and if you couldn't make your goal, you would sell bicycles and surfboards and whatever you could. And then as a single, I remember Justin and I raising money. Our goal was 2,000 Rand that year, and we each did 1,000 sit-ups at the local gym to raise our special contribution. Now, 30 years later, as a family, we have to sit down every year and talk about what are we going to give towards special contribution. And we do that every year with each one of our kids and talk about what are they going to decide to give to God. But today I want to look at an interesting passage in the Old Testament, back in Leviticus chapter 25, verse 1 to verse 7. The Lord said to Moses on Mount Sinai, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you enter the land I am going to give you, the land itself must observe a Sabbath to the Lord. For 6 years sow your fields, and for 6 years prune your vineyards and gather their crops. But in the 7th year the land is to have a Sabbath of rest, a Sabbath to the Lord. Do not sow your fields or prune your vineyards. Do not reap what grows of itself or harvest the grapes of your untended vines. The land is to have a year of rest. Whatever the land yields during the Sabbath year will be food for you, for yourself, your manservant and maidservant, and the hired worker and temporary resident who live among you, as well as for your livestock and the wild animals in your land. Whatever the land produces may be eaten." This is a very interesting concept that God introduces to the Israelite nation. Not only do they have a Sabbath once a week, but every 7 years, the whole year is a Sabbath. So they were not allowed to work or plant or reap. The land had to rest for a whole year. Now, if you think about that, that takes a tremendous amount of trusting God. Not only were they not able to work for that whole year, but if they didn't plant any crops or work in the vineyards or tend to the fields, that meant for the following year, in year 8, there was no harvest either. So they had to trust God for 2 whole years that He would provide for them. In many ways for us, special contribution is the same. That every year we give a certain amount to God, and it takes a huge amount of trust that God will take care of us in spite of how much we are going to be giving. So church, I want to call each one of us to allow God to work His miracles, and for us to give what we've decided in our hearts and to trust God for the next year. Right now, I'm going to hand over to Glenn, and he will explain what the 4th area that we are going to be giving towards this year will be going towards. Thank you.
Morning, church. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Glenn Harvey, and I'm a member of the Northwest Finance Committee. The committee have asked me to talk about one of the important initiatives that we want to fund this year. As you know, our campus and teen ministry are not self-funding, but they do represent the youth of the church. They are the next generation. And as a result, it's important for us to ensure that they continue doing spiritually well. So we're going to use some of the special contribution to support the teens and the campus ministries, as well as the staff that support them and lead them. Our hope is that our teens and our campus ministries will continue to flourish, and that young, God-seeking individuals will find a vibrant group of young people to join. I just want to share a little bit about how we've done from a budget perspective this year. You know, as every year we take last year's giving, and that becomes the budget for this year. And then we track as a finance committee how we're performing from month to month. And I am so encouraged to see how the church has been able to stick to the budget that we set for this year, despite all the challenges that we as a church and as a society have experienced as a result of the COVID pandemic. So I'm faithful that as a church, we're going to excel in our giving this special contribution. That special initiatives like the campus and the teens will benefit from the contribution and will continue to flourish, and to God be the glory. Thank you.